All right, guys, this is Puppet Shows. I want to talk to you about my parents. I got my Daredevil shirt. We ready to go. So, my parents are both strong-willed. Both are attractive. Both were popular. Both were praised for just being all-around popular, smart people. So they're both well matched when it came to a scuffle. Both show their love in different ways. Both have a quirky sense of, they're both weirdos. They're both weirdos. I come from a long line of weirdos and proud of it. 4 kids, 1 trailer. Having been married, I get it. I get how stressful. I can only imagine how stressful that must have been. So my mother, we didn't have a laundry room. There's no laundry room in a trailer. This wasn't a double wide. So if she was doing laundry, and she was holding down 2 jobs. So if she was doing laundry, what she would do is she would just put the basket in our general area room, the living room. She'd be folding clothes, watching TV, hanging out with us. Sometimes one of the things she would do is, she'd be folding something like a sock. Ooh, props in the stories. Yes, we're up a level. She'd be folding laundry and she'd have like a sock or something. You gotta make your own entertainment. It's back in the day before cable, y'all. We lived out in the boondocks, so she'd have her sock or something. If you were walking by, she'd have the, sock kiss you, or, it'd eat your hair like yum, 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 like that. And sometimes she would have the socks talk to you. Now, I don't think this was something she planned out. It was just a cute, affectionate little thing she did with her kids. Every mom, every parent has cutesy little, they just have a little rap they do with their kids. You have that relationship with your parent. Just a family thing. Every family has their stuff. This was one of my mom's things she did with us. She would just take a sock, and the sock would be in your face like this, talking to you. And it worked really well, because sometimes the sock could say things to you that maybe mom didn't want to, or maybe that you didn't want to hear from mom, but you could handle hearing it from sock. For instance, one day there was a knock on my door, and sock came around the corner after. I said, yeah, what is it? Sometimes I had an attitude. I know that's hard for my students to imagine, because I'm always sunshiny. But sometimes when I was a teenager, I had a bit of an attitude. So Sock came around the corner and was like, hey. This was often the voice for Sock, but she would do different voices. Hey, smells like smoke in here. Shouldn't be smoking. It's bad for your health. Like that kind of thing. And it was easier for me to be like, okay, Sock, yeah, well, I wasn't smoking, so whatever stupid teenage surly voice I used. So that's how she would do it. She would just kind of, it was one of her parenting tricks. Every parent has their tricks. And it was fun, and we liked it. Sometimes we would do it too. Like, we grab a Sock and talk back, like, this is really dumb, Mom. And she'd be like, who's Mom? I am Sock. So one day, Dad had been gone for a little bit. That's my dad. He was kind of a tomcat. And she happened to be folding laundry, and Dad came in. And she put on Sock and kind of looked at us, and we were like, uh-oh, this is, and maybe you're seeing this in the corona times too, that that tension you sometimes feel in the house. And if you have a house that has a lot of that, you learn to just instinctively angle yourself away from it. So we saw the tension between the two of them from him finally coming through the door, and we all kind of just instinctively angled to watch. She grabs the Sock and she goes, hey buddy, where you been? Got in his face with it. The thing about this that made me laugh, even though it was a very tense moment, we didn't know if it was going to escalate. The thing that still makes me laugh about it so much, he didn't talk to her. He addressed the Sock. That's the part that still makes me laugh. Grown man just arguing. He addressed the Sock. He's like, hey buddy, where you been? I'll never forget him just talking to the Sock. Just, I don't need to tell you where I'm a grown man. I don't need to talk to a Sock. I don't do what I want. She's like, yeah, you have responsibilities. You have things to do. And he just furiously you don't tell me what to do. Okay, I work, put food on the table. Yeah? Don over there's been working 2 jobs. That's a lot of food on the table. Something like that. And it went back and forth. And again, he's still arguing with the Sock until finally it escalates to this point where he's getting madder and madder. And my brothers and I, when you're in situations like that, you develop eye telegraph. That's what it is. You just kind of look at one another, and we did the eye telegraph of, Eyes, door, right. We're going to head out the back door if this escalates. Got it. And then my dad does this. He grabs the sack and like pulls it off her hand, throws it on the ground. And it was an adult tantrum. And as an adult, and you're going to have them during Corona too, during this whole thing. You're just going to have days where you can't take it and you just, bleh. And that's what he did. He couldn't take it and he stomps on it and he goes, yeah, what are you going to do now, huh? What are you going to do? And we looked at her. What was she going to do? We didn't know. My parents are wild cards. Who knows? And this is what she did. And this still makes me laugh. And I hope it makes you laugh too. Because she could have gone a lot of ways. She could have escalated it. But she went with humor. And I still admire her for this. Like, go with humor. When in doubt, go with humor. She did this. She looked at us. She looked at him with this kind of wild, ferret look in her eyes. She did this. She goes, I remember him going, don't you do it. Don't you do it, Dawn. Don't you do it. It's kind of gritted teeth. And she goes, I'm naked. And she did this. I'm naked. I feel free. Like, she got like sack in his face and goes, I feel free. That, oh my God. I've seen my father leave the house angry. I have heard and seen him slam doors, but that was the most angry I've seen him leave and the loudest I've heard him slam that door. As soon as he left, tension dispelled. We laughed so hard. Oh, so hard. She put the sock back on her hand and said something along the lines of, what a drama queen. Oh, so I'll end this longer story for you with this. I sometimes find myself doing the sock thing. Nature or nurture, up to you. But, it's a great stress reliever. And there are worse things than talking to yourself in puppet form. Or even, I'll sometimes have my hand and I'm feeling too stressed. I'm like, what do you think about that? I think you're losing your mind. Like, yeah, well, I might be. That's all right. I love you. Like, oh, I love you too. But that's all right. We got to survive how we can. So that's the time my mom used a sock made of a puppet just to infuriate a grown man. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. And it's Mother's Day. It's early in the morning on Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.